Hey everybody, for tonight's video, it's sweet corn. Okay, so it's season. Sweet corn is definitely in season. So I'm going to make kind of a cheat version, I guess you'd call it, of street corn with it. But much like any sweet corn, first step, you gotta shuck it. Now I know there's some people that will pull the silks off, leave the husk on, and then grill it that way. And you can, and I have, but to me, I get more of the taste of the cob, or almost a corn stalk taste. And yes, I do know what those taste like. But yeah, so I like to take the husk and the silks off of it. For me, I think it has a better taste that way. But yeah, so this, and generally I just use a bag here, and keeps it fairly clean. If I got bad end, just break it off like that. Doesn't have to be anything fancy. Get your silks off. And this stuff is fairly far along. So a lot of times, honestly, I just, butter, salt, and pepper, and away you go. Especially if you've got the candy corn style sweet corn, which this actually isn't. It really doesn't need much else. But if you do get some that's a little further along or whatever, and that's I think a good place to make the street style corn. And so I will continue cleaning up a bunch of this, and then I will get back to you guys with the next step. Alright, so this next step is obviously pretty easy. I've got the Traeger, or Easy Bake Oven for men, as I like to call it, warming up yet. So it's not completely to temperature, but I'm going to throw the corn on now, so that way it'll be ready by the time it's time to throw the burgers on here. And they'll be all warmed up. And that way we can eat everything at the same time. And then when I pull the corn off, I'll just put them back on this tray, and then I have a warming drawer on my Traeger, and they'll just go in there while the burgers are cooking, so then everything stays warm. So we'll let those cook, get the Traeger up to temperature, and we'll keep going. Okay, so corn is down in the warming tray. Burgers are on. They haven't been flipped yet, so that's a perfect time to get our sauce going. Okay, so basically you start, the base is the crema. And if you're looking for an exact recipe, yeah, that's not going to happen on this one. And then, depending on how you do it or whatever, you'll put your lime or squeezed lime on top. Or sometimes I just cheat and I use a sauce. Mix that up. And again, there's no one, that's pretty good. There's no one recipe for street corn, so make it how you want. Now the one thing I rarely ever skimp is fresh cilantro. So I cut this up earlier, and that, it just brightens it up so much. It just adds a lot. And then a lot of them will call for some more chili powder or cumin, something like that. Tonight, because it was what I had handy, I'm going to use hardcore carnivore Tex-Mex taco and fajita seasoning. Just to add some of that in there. And we'll add that at the end too when we dress it up a little bit to make it look pretty. There we go, got that mixed up. Made a little bit of a mess here around the side with my stirring. Okay. And next thing we'll do is we'll flip the burgers, and then we'll get the corn ready to go. Okay, burgers are flipped. Time to get the corn ready. Got the corn here. Got our little, let's see here, get you adjusted. Okay, so I'll put it on the shop towel this time, make a little bit less of a mess, but pretty simple. Just kind of paint it on there. Got it going. Looks good already. You know, it's a little thick, and if that happens, add a little more crema. Because my sauce was actually thicker than the crema. Stir that up. There we go. And keep painting these up. Get these all good and coated. It does look like there was some nasty weather out west today. I think we're just going to get rain tonight the way it's looking, but you never can tell. So if you did get some bad storms, or you're going to get some yet tonight, hope everything, I hope everybody stays safe. And if at all possible, I hope it just avoids us. Getting most of these just about done here. They smell really good. As I was saying earlier, this is, if it gets a little far on you, this is a perfect corn to do this with, because, you'll give it a little more moisture with the crema and everything. And you get a little more flavor in there then, as well. and just really brings it to life. The cilantro is what really has that fresh taste to it. So that's why I never cheat on the fresh cilantro. I'll cheat on the lime and other things, but and then some people like Parmesan on there, which I like Parmesan. Sometimes it's a go-to for me, but it just depends what you're in the mood for. Again, there's all sorts of different recipes that you can use on this, and it doesn't have to be exactly by whatever one book says. Get another towel here. Okay, so got them all painted. Now basically what we're going to do is just going to kind of make it pretty. It does add a little bit. Got some queso fresco. We'll crumble some of that on it. Which is always tasty. Got that. And then just for, it's kind of just for looks, but we'll put a little more of this chili seasoning or fajita seasoning. And the rest of the cilantro. There we go. And there is my version of street corn. Looks pretty tasty. So, as always, thanks for watching, and take care.